Hey!
Hey!
All right, well, we are here for part 2 of the Werewolf of Carcassonne, an adventure in the 10th River Basin. But let's start it off by doing all the important stuff that we got to do to start off a stream. We've got a couple of people that we need to make sure to thank. First off, Norse Foundry. You can use the code Perception Check to get a 15% discount at Norse Foundry, and the link norsefoundry.com is in the chat. And next, Wormwood. They have these cool dice towers that we're using. Ooh, and yeah, the link for that is there. If you use the promo code, you get free shipping. And level up dice, which I'm not holding, but so I can't hold them up. But imagine I did, and they'd be awesome. And again, the information that you can find is in the link is there. We're proud members of Level Up Dice's Diceomancy program. Dice purchased through our link help us stock up on giveaway items, plan live events, and host special guests, which sounds really cool. And then I think we also have Adam's Family Gaming to thank, who do T-shirts, as I understand. But I don't know. I don't know the details. And yeah, for anybody who is new to the stream, there are a couple of things that you can make us do on the left hand side of the screen. You'll see there's a couple things: player blessings, player rerolls, DM rerolls, character item drops, and GM powers. What those do, the blessings and rerolls help them do a little bit better in the fights that are going to be ahead, or whatever other challenges we run into. The DM rolls make it more fun. I mean harder. I mean just more fun. And character item drops. Character item drops are you come up with a character, tell us what it is, and I am honor bound to somehow make it happen in a seamless, perfect way that seems like it wasn't
Chiquita.
just suddenly a KFC mascot showing up in the middle of the woods. That's never happened. So yeah, and GM powers, of course, you get to take away the narrative powers from me and give it to one of these lovely people who are above, beside, around me, and let them have some narrative power for 1 minute, just this long, to cause whatever mischief they deem worthy. So let's to get us back into it, let's really quickly go down the line and let's reintroduce ourselves, because we're hanging out in Carcassonne. We've had a long night. You've fought some undead, but you're about to have a new person. So Diva, we're gonna do you last, and we're gonna let everybody else reintroduce themselves first. We're gonna start with Leopard. Tell us a little bit about you and just reintroduce us to you.
Oh, hi, my name is Connie. I am playing Leopard. I am a Leonin barbarian, but I look like a snow leopard. And I'm friends with Zara right next to me. And yeah, let's go fight some undead.
Great.
Let's go fight some undead.
Kory, same deal. Give us a little intro.
Yeah, I'm Kory. I'm playing Zara. She is a tiefling rogue. So she's all stabby, running around. Yeah. She is an athlete. So she didn't stick around like Carcassonne. She was like, let's go explore the world. But like she comes back to Carcassonne often, and is friends with Leopard.
Nice, cool, and John as Alpha.
Yep. My name's John. I'm gonna be playing Alphin. He's a wizard / professional body burner. So he kind of spends his free time just going around, just burning bodies, making sure we prevent the undead from rising again.
Great, and yeah, thank you. It's a me Bondo, which I like that name. Thank you for subscribing. It's a me Bondo. And so you are going to be meeting someone new tonight. This is part 2 of our adventure. And so Diva, go ahead and introduce us to Blep.
I am Diva. I am playing a grung druid named Blep. Because obviously.
Because it's lovely.
I am gonna be learning about her as we go.
Perfect. All right. So we are in Carcassonne, which is a city up to the north here in the 10th River Basin. The 10th River Basin is known for having troubles with undead that attack during the night. By day, things are quiet, things are safe, but at night, the dead rise from the ground and they come for the living. There are a number of undead, some of which many of you have already encountered. There's the Loss, these horrible little they're like empty voids of space that come slowly walking towards you. They look to be the size of children reaching out as if they need something, and when they touch you, it's not good. Secondly, you've got Shamblers. These are the shuffling, like your normal kind of zombies. You know, they're standard zombie fare. They're pretty quiet. On the other hand, there are the Screamers. They're not quiet at all. They have been screaming their heads off endlessly since they have risen from the dead, and so it's nice that you have a little bit of a heads up that undead are coming. Those of you who have ever camped outside of Carcassonne would know that all night, that's all you hear. You just hear screams coming and going, that little Doppler effect happening as you're like, oh, they're coming toward, oh, all right, they're moving away. And so you've grown used to it. You're probably all a little bit jaded from having dealt with the undead your entire lives, because they've been a problem for the last 1,000 years. Now, last time we were together, you fought them off as part of a holiday. And does anyone remember the name of the holiday?
Oh,
I'm gonna check.
it was
Let's see.
Black
Festival
Day.
of the First Fire or Festival of the First Smoke?
First Smoke, yeah,
Smoke,
First Smokes
yeah.
Festival. And yeah, so have some inspiration because
Yay!
you remembered a thing.
Nice.
Yeah, and the Festival of First Smoke is that first night that when you sniff the air, you kind of catch that scent of fire burning, of chimney smoke, and it's just gotten cool enough and nice enough that it kind of drifts on the air and it sneaks up on you, and you're like, oh, that feeling of warmth and kindness and nice and hearth. And to celebrate it, of course, the children wander around Carcassonne collecting soup, because candy would be silly. That's ridiculous. Who would collect candy? So children go around collecting soup, as many of you know. And to finish off that celebration, part of it is in remembrance of the time that monsters came and helped the city, that the beasts of the Forge Horde came and defended the city so that the people didn't have to. And you went out dressed as these monsters, putting on their guises, putting on a costume and going out and fighting the undead. But two of you came back a little bit hurt. If I recall correctly, it's Leopard and Kel who isn't here right now. You found yourself with a scratch on your arm that you don't remember exactly how it got there. It must have been sometime during the fighting. A lot happened. It was dark. You know, you miss things. But now when you look down at that wound, you notice that the hair around it it's darker, it's coarser. It's not healing the way that you quite thought it would. And it feels a little bit warm to the touch. So we're gonna get to Diva. We're gonna introduce you in a little bit, but we're gonna start with the three of you who were there before. Now your friend Kel, that big furbolg paladin, he's feeling it a little bit more than Leopard is. He's holding his arm. He's kind of doubled over, and he's a little bit in a daze. And you see that he needs a little bit of help to be carried out. So what do you want to do?
He needs to be carried out like he's like going to the hospital.
Like
you
he's
need to
just
call
so spent from the day. Like he's spent from the day. He's feeling a little bit not so good. If you want to, you could medicine check to see if he needs to go to the hospital.
I would love to do a medicine check on him. I'm gonna do that.
Great.
You're
Right.
smarter than I am. I
I
can
got
carry
a
him.
12.
A 12. All right, you think maybe it's just a fever? You know, these things probably happen. He probably got cut by something and has a little bit of an infection. You know, that's not a big deal. You can probably take care of that, right? You know, or maybe just a little bit of rest. You know, a nice night under the full moon will do him well.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
maybe a
We could
long
get some
nap.
fresh
Nice.
air. Yeah,
Yeah, like just like some sleep.
right.
Yeah, some rest. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind
Put
of
some
stuffy in
leaves
here.
on top of him, like a little
Yeah.
blanket.
All right.
Oh yeah, like a little blanket. Keep him
Well, I
warm.
mean, you're also in the city. If you want to, you could take him home. You don't have to be like, you stay out here in the
all
grass.
Oh, okay. I would like to throw him over my shoulder and take him home.
All right, now you're gonna need at least an athletics check. I know you're a barbarian, so you're pretty strong, but he is a furbolg, and so he's a sizable paladin, and he's wearing paladin sorts of gear. So let's see that athletics.
Okay, athletics. Let's do this. First roll of the night. 17.
All right, yeah, that's a success. Yeah, you managed to like heft him up, and you're holding him, and you carry him across.
Like fireman's carry.
Yeah, you've got him, and you can drag him back down to Carcassonne. Art, do we have that Carcassonne up? We could bring up, so we can guide people down the pathway. So yeah, you're starting up there at the north end, the Carcass Pass, as it's called. You've left, and you're going past that building there. You have an old friend there who introduced you to this fight. Constable Griffith is there, and he looks out,
yeah.
and he says, "I see people walking towards me. I look out pensively and wonder, how are they doing? But I don't ask because I don't really want to talk to them." And you see him shouting from up there as you walk by. He seems to be unable to keep from describing all of his thoughts and actions out loud as you wander by. If you want to interact with him, you can. If you want to get past him and not deal with this loud shouting man, you can too.
Leia keeps
I think we
walking.
should just keep moving. Yeah. I'll just kind of like wave. And, like,
Just visiting.
Perfect. Then yeah, as you make your way further down that path, you're gonna go past those stables, which, as you recall, you fought a golem there, a golem made from pocket rocks and a large boulder. And you see the boulder has now been left, and it's cracked. And as you look at it, it's got a little bit of a glisten of a little bit of rainbow energy, kind of pouring out of it, a little bit of a shine like a geode.
Nice.
Yeah. But you can make your way the rest of the way back to town, and yeah, there are a couple places to stay. If you go down to the south, you can get to the Get In, where you are able to stay. It's a little bit further to the left on that map.
Get in.
Yes, the Get In,
Sounds
where you're
perfect.
allowed to, in fact, get in. And they're more than happy to have you. They have backyard wrestling on weekends. But that's not happening right now. And you're able to get a place to stay. You know, it's cheap enough. It's not too expensive. And the shopkeeper or the innkeeper there looks at you up and down and sees that you still have all of your gear from that adventure you just went on. You're still wearing your costumes. You're still carrying
That's right.
around those silver long swords that they gave you to fight off the undead. And the first thing that he does when he looks at you is narrows his eyes and goes, "Well, the first smoke festival was last night. I'm out of soup, I'm sorry. But I got rooms. Is rooms what you need?"
For the night, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll need
Oh,
a room
we
for
can
the night.
hook you up with that. That's fine. How many rooms are you gonna need?
1, 2.
4.
All
Do you
right.
think he needs his own room?
You know what?
Well, like,
I feel bad kind
should
of
we
leaving him by
get
himself.
yeah, maybe.
He can bunk with
Alpha, Would
me.
you feel comfortable?
Yeah, he can bunk with
just
me.
So you watch over
Yeah,
him.
I'll watch over
Okay.
him. I'll treat him right.
Great.
All right.
Okay.
Then yeah, you bunk up with this slowly fading out Furbold, because as you know, it's been a long night. You've been fighting all night. It's reasonable to be a little bit exhausted, you know, and he took a lot of hits because he was up front. So yeah, you can get yourselves rooms there, and they only charge you $1 a night. In fact, when they see how you're dressed, they decide to give you the rooms for free because they realize you just defended the city from undead. Like, you probably $1 is fine. We can just let you stay. And yeah, you can go upstairs, have yourself a night, and at this point, if you'd like to, you can take a long rest and discuss anything that's bothering you or itching.
It
Leopard,
still
can I look at
itches.
your well, yeah, can I look at that? Do you mind if I look at that again? Just because it's been a little while now? Okay. Let me look at that. Okay, so that's a 16.
All right, that's a medicine check you just said?
Yes.
Great. With a 16, looking at it, you realize that it's spread a little bit. It was just a little cut, but but now that kind of coarser hair is popping up a little bit further up the arm. The fever seems to be subsiding, and it's slowly kind of stitching itself back together, but it seems like something under the surface of the skin has spread. You can tell that this is a serious infection. This is somehow magical in nature. This isn't
Not
working the
damn.
way that you expect a normal infection to.
Okay, so don't freak out. It's magic.
Okay.
It's magical. So, like,
I don't like
it's not
it.
going to go away on its own. I know.
Can you get rid of it?
I'm not magic.
Maybe when Kel wakes up, he can magic it away.
Well, Elfin also does magic, right? We've seen Elfin do magic.
Yeah. Could I
Yeah.
could I try to take a look at it maybe, or
Yeah, if you
Yes.
want to.
Yeah.
What do you want to do
Yeah.
to?
so
to try to
I'm gonna go ahead and put down Kel. He's obviously sleeping. He probably wants to rest off a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead head over to the room
Yeah.
over here with a Leopard and Zara and kind of knock a little bit, be like knock knock knock, and hopefully you guys open the door for me. But I'm gonna be like, hey guys, Kel's resting. Like, how you guys feeling after that adventure?
My arm itches, and the fur does not match my body.
It's definitely something magic.
Yeah. Let me take a look at that. Should I roll a check on that?
Yeah, you can roll a medicine.
Okay. I have no idea what that is. I rolled a 2.
Awesome. Yeah, you have no idea what this is.
Yeah, I was like,
You're like-
did you burn yourself? It looks like it's dark, so it could be some soot. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's probably
No.
fine.
Yeah, I think you're okay. In my professional magic opinion, I think you're all right.
We'll see how it looks in
I mean,
the
that's
morning.
as good as any, right?
Yeah.
Well, so now it is worth noting. It is morning already. You fought through the night.
Oh,
So you're going to be
Oh.
sleeping during the day to catch up on your Z's because you had a long night defending the city. So it's morning now. But that's nice. You can just pull the blinds. It'll be dark. It'll be relaxing.
well, they have those nice blackout curtains.
Ah,
Yeah.
very nice.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna go back to the room and just kind of check on Kel. It's been a couple hours now, so I'm just kind of curious to see how he's doing.
Sure. If you want, you can try another medicine check, or
Sure.
you can just do an insight check.
All right, let's see. Let's go with well, it doesn't really matter, I guess. I rolled a 9.
All right.
Oh.
He's tossing and turning a little bit,
Mhm.
but he seems pretty okay.
Okay.
Do you want to like actually examine him, or are you just like checking on him, making sure that he's like breathing okay and stuff?
Yeah,
like that?
I'm just kind of checking on him a little bit. I'm the kind of person I don't want to like disturb people when they're sleeping, because when I'm
Okay.
sleeping, I like to be left alone. so
Okay,
I'm
then
just kinda
yeah,
like,
he's
leave him alone.
he has a little bit of a temperature, like if you touch his forehead, but you know
Sure.
you're not quite sure. Maybe furbolgs just run a little bit warm.
That's
I
true.
mean, you're not sure. But yeah, he seems calm, like he's in a stable place.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I'll head out. I want to, I guess, talk to the rest of the group and be like, so, are we supposed to go back out again for another wave, or how does this work, guys?
You are done. You've finished defeating
Oh, okay.
things.
One.
You've successfully done what you need to for the festival of First Smoke.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And you're free to enjoy yourselves now.
Oh, well, in that case, I want to find some soup.
back to the soup adventure.
Yeah.
All right.
Do we want to go back to the one that was supposedly like the best in town, but like we found the actual one that was best in town, but like the supposed one, the
Sure.
more commercial one.
Yeah.
Rizzle, sizzle, and oh, I don't remember what the rest of it was. Rizzle, sizzle,
Rizzle, sizzle, and soup.
Yeah, I figured we can get some soup for
Sizzle,
Kel.
soup.
Yeah, get Kel some soup to kind of help him feel a little bit better.
For sure. Yeah. If you
That
want to
sounds
go
like
out
a
there.
good idea.
Everyone seems to be having an all right time when you go out to town, because they all went to bed. They slept well while you defended them, and so by now you've gotten a long rest. So go ahead and put in all of your long rest things that you do, and we'll say that it's a little bit in the afternoon now, maybe mid afternoon. We'll call it about 2 or 3. And yeah, you can go out there. People seem to be having a good time. the air is crisp and cool, and you see those nice blue trees that ring around the central lake here in Carcassonne. And as you make your way up north, past Salmon Square, you can make it to Rizzle, Sizzle, and Soup. And when you go in, you find Miss Rizzle. And she's there. She's working on cooking stuff. She's got some steaks that she's flipping, right? And you see her in the back, and she looks out and she says, "Oh, don't worry, I'll be out there in just a second. Give me a second."
Take your time. No rush.
All right. She flops, and while you're waiting, you notice walking up the street, there seems to be a frog. Diva,
Frog.
go ahead and give us your blep introduction. You're walking up the street along the shores here of the lake here in Carcassonne.
So just narrating as I go up the lake.
Yeah,
Go down the lake, go down
just
the-
go ahead and you see a bunch of people hanging out that look a little exceptional. There's something about them that says protagonist. They all have anime hair. And but like when you look, you just see three people that like,
different types, like
yeah, you're just like you're done in cell animation, and everything else is a painted background. I can tell that they have protagonist vibes. Oh, we've got a raid from Show and Tell Live. Thank you for joining us. We're playing some D&D.
Ambling down to the town, going to go have a drink. Blow, 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 blow. Oh, you look like mighty fine protagonists. I read that in a book.
You are very small.
Yeah, so we just see a frog?
Yeah, you see this frog that came up and just said you all look like protagonists that they've read about in a book.
Oh.
It was read to me. It was an auditory book. My eyes are a little wobbly.
They are.
Sarah, what does auditory mean?
Listening.
Ah.
Yes, it means you hear. Oh, sorry. Yes.
I'm just kind of lean in a little bit and just kind of just stare at the frog and be like, "You feeling okay?"
All right.
No.
No, you're not feeling all right?
Yeah.
Do you want to get soup with us?
Yeah, we're getting some soup. It makes you feel better.
Oh, yes, I would like a warm soup for my warm soup belly.
All right. I'm gonna just turn around and just call out to is it Rizzle was her name, right?
Yes. Rizzle, Sizzle, and Soup. So,
All right. I'll be like, Rizzle, 4 soups, please.
She says, "I will get you your soups. Don't worry, the soups are coming. Here's this. Yeah, what kind of soup do you want? I got the best soup in town."
Five soups.
Oh, that's
Five
right.
soups.
5
Yes,
soups.
one
We need
to
one
go.
for Kel.
Because
Sorry.
we gotta
Yeah.
take one to Kel.
Yes, that's right.
All right, yeah. You can order yourself some soup, and she guides you to like a table that has seating for 5 because she just assumes your 5th party member is coming. She does not know that they're undergoing a transformation, and I mean that they're fine and resting in a room elsewhere,
Totally
off
fine.
camera. And yeah, so you all settle down, and eventually she comes by and starts putting out some bowls.
Well, we need one. We need one to go. It's 4 here, 1 to go.
It's okay. I can put it in my skull and we'll take it back.
Okay.
That works.
She comes over and starts ladling soup and ladles it into your skull, as I assume you request. And yeah, you now have a skull full of soup. Tell you what, one person can roll for the kind of soup it is. Roll me a D100, and we'll see how awesome this soup is. If it's one of the incredible ones, or it's just a soup.
just a soup.
Just a soup.
Solid
I run
tomato.
only food adventures. That's the
This
thing.
makes me very
Foodie
happy.
adventures.
Foodie adventures. 75.
75. All right, that's pretty good. Yeah, you have there some salmon soup, and as you look in it, you realize that it's a little sniff. There's a little bit of saffron in there. Oh, there's a little bit of honey that seems to have made its way into it. You wouldn't normally expect to see or smell honey in soup, but this honey seems a little bit different. Seems to have a little bit of an extra kick to it that gives it a little tiny bit of spice. And yeah, it's a delicious buzzpur and salmon soup.
Is it like the lapis blue? Are the salmon like blue salmon? Like
They are the same
lake?
salmon, although this
Ah.
one doesn't have any salmon skulls in it. So there's no lapis to be found in it, just a hint of that blue color that comes from the fish.
Am I considered an amphibian?
Yes.
Is this like eating my cousin's soup?
No.
Okay.
The
This one didn't
fish are different enough. You'll be all right.
Okay. I had put the bowl on my head, and I just opened my mouth.
All right. You are wearing some of this soup, which
I
should
don't
be
know if
noted.
I'm from here, if I was just ambling about, so I'll just...
Well, so that's a good question. Why are you here? Because you know that you've come from the south, and
Yeah.
Carcassonne does have some festivals and some fantastic things to see.
Yeah.
What sorts of things do you think would motivate Blep to come all the way up to Carcassonne?
I heard there was a festival, that there was a fire festival, and that there were events, and I thought maybe I could do a tongue sticking out event, like. I'm getting back. They call me Blep.
If if you would like to, you may roll an athletics or acrobatics check for how awesome your tongue moment is.
Okay.
Your tongue performance.
I will also accept performance.
How do I... Let's see.
We're going to the tongue show tonight.
Oh, is that what you think it is? Is that what you think? Is that what you think?
Wait.
I just rolled way too many. I'm gonna do this again. I
16.
Oh my gosh! You attract attention from other people who happen to be getting soup as well. You see two elves that they're coming in. Well, yeah, they've walked in. They're carrying some bread. They seem to be delivering it here. Those of you who are from Carcassonne will recognize that they work at the bakery just north of Rizzle, Sizzle, and Steak. They're from the Ringlegoss Bakery, and they look to one another and they say, Harkin, do you see that? Yes, I do, Braden. I've never seen a tongue like that before. Oh, haven't you, Harkin? Oh, no, I don't think I ever have. It's incredible. It is incredible. I wonder why they do that. I don't know. Do you know? I don't know, Harkin. What about you, Braden? No, I don't know. I already said I don't know. You did? Well, I wasn't listening. And then they proceed to deliver a bunch of rolls and bagels, and as they walk by, they're gonna stop and they're gonna put down a couple of rolls for you, and they will look to Blep and say, I don't know who you are, but you've definitely earned some bagels, and then they go on their way. Well, they start on their way, unless you want to stop them and hear them talk to each other more. As they leave, you can all make perception checks.
Oh.
I would love to. Yeah.
18.
18. All right.
Okay.
18's gonna be
dirty
good
20.
enough. Oh, what was that? A 20?
Dirty 20. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Then yeah.
I got a nat 20.
Per-
But
oh.
it's 24, so...
Oh, all right. All right. So we're gonna do two. We're gonna do
We
what
know.
the people who got higher than a 15 heard, and then we're gonna do what Blep heard. As they walk away, and they think that they're talking to each other and they can't be heard. They're turning like, I don't know about that. They're all sticky. I'm not into that sort of thing. That's a strange thing to see in town. I am no longer appetized. I know Hawken. It's insane. They'll just let any old frog in here now. Braden, I know. I used to see a frog. Ricardo, yeah, you know Ricardo. Oh, Froglabon. Yes, I know Ricardo Froglabon. Yes, I don't like him either. He smells. Yes, he does. He does. And as they walk away, you can hear that they are shit-talking Blep, and your group as a whole. As soon as they think they're out of earshot. Now, Blep, on the other hand, you hear that, and then they get a couple more steps, and then they say, "But they do seem quite talented. They do. But never tell anyone I said that. Goodness, what if people knew I said nice things? Oh, I wouldn't allow it. No, Hawk, never. It's a secret between you and me. Oh, yes, Braden, good."
So I'm incensed. I'm gonna go up to them and I was gonna say, Harkin, and what was that? So
Braden, right? Braden with a Y.
Braden with a Y. Well, of course. How else would it be spelled? I was just wondering if you could grab us. Like those bagels look so good that you got for Blep, and could you get some for the table? And as she's like talking to them, and like it smells so good, and the soup is so good, she's gonna try to like steal their wallets or something like that.
All right. That's gonna be contested by perception checks by the Ringlegoss twins. So you can do a sleight of hand against. Oops, maybe we should not have it roll.
I would love to do a sleight of hand.
All right.
I got a 19 plus 6, so it's a 25.
All right. All right. That'll do it, because I thought they were gonna have you. One of them rolled an 18 on the die, but no. You managed to lift their coin purse. Do you want to rob Harkin or Braden with a Y? I'm not sorry, Braden. You don't have Ys. Not sorry.
So which one said the thing that was bad about Blep, and which one agreed? Because there was one that said the bad thing, and there's one that said, "Oh yes, I know you're right." The one that said it.
All right, so you're gonna have to roll me a perception check, because here's the thing about them: they're identical twins, and so it's difficult to tell the two of them apart. And you know, roll that perception check, and we'll see what you figured out.
Sure.
It's like in surround
I got
sound.
an 18.
All right. With an 18, what you will notice is that they switched up what they called each other. They didn't stay consistent whether which one of them was Braden or which one was Harkin. They changed their minds throughout, and they used their names interchangeably.
Oh my gosh. What are these twins? What are these guys doing? What?
You can determine that they're doing it just to fuck with people.
The old switcheroo.
That's the kind of people they are.
I'm definitely taking the one that first said the bad thing about Blep.
Okay.
Whichever that one was.
All right. We'll assume it's who you think of as Harkin. Although you now realize, maybe not.
But
yeah, you make it.
It's lefty right there.
Perfect. Yeah, you can do that, and yeah, you are now in possession of their money. And you could tell that they were rich, haughty people, because when you get back to your table and you sit down and you look at it, and you open it up, it seems to be full of small gems and about 50 gold pieces. There's a variety of gems. There's some deep emeralds that seem to come from somewhere below the earth, and there is, of course, some lapis lazuli that they have collected from the skulls of the fish around here. All totaled, with the 50 gold pieces and these gems, it's worth about 150 gold pieces.
Nice. All right. Okay. She just kind of like keeps that to herself. She'll give it to Blep like when we leave, maybe. Not right now. Right now it's just like in her pocket. It's fine.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, you're sitting there. You get back there. After a couple minutes go by, they walk up and they're talking with Miss Rizzle, and talking about things. And one of them says, "Oh yes, of course. Let me just pay for that. Yes. Oh, Harkin. Oh, Brain, did you bring yours? I can't seem to find I don't know where my pouch went. Do you know where your pouch went? Oh, I know where my pouch is. I wouldn't lose my pouch. That's a beginner move. I'm not a beginner. I'm your brother, and I'm older by 3 minutes. No, you're not. I'm your brother, and I'm older than you by 3 minutes. And they get into a small argument, but eventually the other one pays what they need to, and they go off arguing back and forth about, well, you should be watching your pouch. I can't believe that you didn't hearken. Oh, well, Brayden, I'm not like you. I don't always watch everything I do. Well, Brayden, well, are you? And they just argue their way north.
Soup.
Yeah,
Soup
no,
is
Elf is
good.
just enjoying the soup. He's used to being, made fun of because he was always covered in soot, looking dirty. People are always just like, oh, look at this guy. So when he heard that stuff, he's just like, just eating the soup.
Perfect. All right, so yeah, you've successfully found some soup, and let's roll to see if this soup is better than the other one. I'm just gonna roll a d20, and we're gonna see if this is the better soup. I rolled a natural 20. This is the best soup in town. Yes! This is absolutely the best soup in town. You were wrong to skip this in the first place and go to the creepy lady who stole your wants and turned it into soup.
I turned to the group and I apologize because it was my choice to go to the other place. I was like, I was wrong, guys. I'm sorry.
You should have just started here, like I said in the first place.
Yeah,
even
you're
though
right.
I didn't say in the first place.
The soup is good, and Leopard, as you're consuming that soup, you feel more voracious than you usually are. You find yourself kind of hungry and for meat.
Miss Frizzle, more meat soup, please.
She will bring you over.
Throw
She
it
will.
down.
Yeah, she's got some steak sizzling, and she is more than happy to put a steak in your soup if that's what you want. Or she will bring you the steak on the side. Either way, there's steak coming, and it's good.
Soup, please, or I will dip it in the soup and then eat it.
Perfect. All right, yeah, you feel a little bit more sated. You're glad that you had it, but yeah, that's. Anyone else can make a quick insight check on Leopard as they're consuming this steak.
Soup. I got a 7.
All right, Leopard, roll me a deception check. I know you're not intentionally trying to deceive, but this just gives us a bar for them to go against.
Okay. Well, that's a 15 minus 1, 14.
All right, does anybody beat 14 on an insight check? Nobody?
I'll try.
Yeah, everybody can try it. Yeah.
I got a 12.
Oh no.
Blep.
$17.
Oh, yeah. Blep identifies. You notice as Leopard is eating that there is a voraciousness to that, the way that she's eating, and at first you think, well, it's because she's a Leonin, that makes sense. But as you keep watching, you notice that there's a certain almost violence to the way that she bites into things that suggests to you that there's something else going on. That this is hungrier and more feral than you would expect even a civilized Leonin to be.
There, I see you eating that meat quite ferociously, which suggests to me that there may be something wrong. Not with you, very strong, intimidating barbarian you, but also with you. I believe there is something wrong with your friend.
Leopard looks fine to me.
Leopard, are you okay? Can that kind of with my close of almost insight, and with that, can I just check out her cut and see if it changed any?
Yeah. When you look at the cut, you do see that it's healed up entirely. Now it's not gone. It's just no longer a wound, and whatever was spreading through there seems to have kind of faded in and become a little bit more part of Leopard.
Maybe that means it's the soup make you feel good, Leopard? I mean, it might have just like dissipated. Maybe the soup made the cut better.
Yeah, you're on the mend.
I feel better. The steak was delicious.
It's pretty good.
It's
If that's the
from-
case, we should definitely get the soup to Kel, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, put the steak in the soup for Kel too. Miss Frizzle, another steak, please.
Miss Rizzle brings you another steak and she puts it on your skull, so that now it's a cap on top of the soup. It's better for transit and not at all disturbing. So yeah, if you want to head back to the Get In, you may. And you find Kel is up there, hanging out. Cool. Yeah, and yeah, she's you are able to you're able to get back, and you find Kel, and he's kind of tossing and turning. Anyone who's gone in there with him or wants to go in there with him can make either a perception, an insight, or a nature check.
Did Leah go in? I'm sorry, is it Leah or Leia?
Leah.
Leah. If Leah went in, I'm going to follow her because I am suspicious. She's sus.
Okay.
Super sus.
And you said, what was it, insight or nature?
Insight, perception, or nature will do.
Insight, perception, nature. I'm going to do a perception check.
Woo!
Yay!
Yeah.
Thank you, the
Kind of
Zachman.
benevolent God.
Oh, this might
I
save
do
Connie's
a
life. Or at least
Perception.
I rolled an 8.
an 8.
I'm not rolling
Yeah,
so
I
hot
got
today.
6.
I got 13.
Unnatural 20.
All right. Thank goodness someone rolled that. Yeah, with that natural
And then
20,
with the soup, the
you
meat soup.
you know that furbolgs are not supposed to have fangs, and you
Oh,
notice
no.
that this one does. You notice that Kel, although he's still unconscious, he's still kind of sleeping it off. You notice a feral nature to him, almost wolf-like. And yeah, there's definitely something up. He's undergoing some sort of transformation. You look out the window as this happens, and you realize the sun is starting to set. And you know that last night was the night before the full moon. Tonight is the full moon.
Well, Leah, give him the soup.
Yeah, make him feel better.
Something is wrong with Kel.
Oh.
Looks fine to me.
He might need more soup. I'll just put the soup with the meat and the steak on the side of his bed.
What do you mean something's wrong with him?
The fangs. They don't belong.
When she does that, can I see how her teeth are looking?
Yeah, you can see that her teeth still look kind of normal because she's a
Okay.
Leonin, so like the little fang is reasonable.
Okay. Yeah.
When you look at his fangs, Kel's fangs, those are definitely like canines. Those are his face is a little bit elongated now. There's hair in places that it wasn't before. Now that you're all noticing it, like he's looking like he's wearing the costume that he had on, but he's not wearing the costume anymore.
Oh.
Can I try something?
Yes.
Is he asleep? Is he awake?
He's not quite awake. He's rousing as you start giving him stuff, but he's not quite like conscious enough to talk or have
Okay.
have conversations. Like,
Can he make a wisdom saving throw, please?
yes. What is this against?
Of 12.
He fails.
I just cast animal friendship.
Okay.
I don't know if that's gonna work. We're gonna see. It lets me convince a beast that I mean no harm.
All right. We'll since he rolled so poorly, we'll take this off-label use. And
Okay.
yeah, he doesn't seem angry. Like his eyes kind of flutter open, and it is this point that you notice that they have more yellow in them than they should. That his pupils seem to be dilating strangely, moving on their own as his body seems to be kind of understanding what it is now, the changes that he's going through, and he doesn't have words to use. He's not very verbal, but he does regard you kindly, which is a good thing because you were the only person he didn't know. The other people he looks at a little bit, but like he's not angry, he's not moving yet. He's just kind of shifting, and like you notice the hair on his back is long, sticking out.
Have I ever read about any of this from where I'm from, or listened to it?
Yes. Now, you've never heard of a werewolf, but you have heard of lycanthropy, which, despite the fact that the word has lichen in it, means all sorts in Dungeons and Dragons. Because you're familiar that in the place that you come from, in that big tree that's in the center of the forest that you're from, there are guardians there who are lycanthropes, but they are geckos. They're able to transform into lizards. This is different because he's obviously some sort of mammal, and is becoming even more mammalian as you speak. But you can identify that this is probably lycanthropy. He barks back.
Should I be worried?
I don't know yet.
He sits up and he looks around.
Kel, are you okay?
Did you want some soup? Yeah, we got some soup with some meat.
He does dive at that steak. He will dive for the steak, like arms out across the room, like grabs the steak, and he's lying on the ground and ripping it apart. And you notice that there are claws on his hands. The sun's going down further. The moon is rising.
Wait, okay. We need to get to. Does the inn have a basement or something? We need to control the situation.
All right. So what's your overall plan? You want to take him to the basement and chain him up?
Well, not chain him up, but like a more secure area than upstairs at the get in.
All right.
Yeah, we could take him to the keep in, or
knock him out. Sure.
All right. Do you want to knock out your friend?
But like go to sleep.
Boop the snoot.
I mean, if you want to start making attack rolls and do non-lethal damage, you can.
That seems not like the best of plans. Can we do that in the basement? Can we get him down to the basement first?
All right. If you want to, you can try. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I said we should be able to, because my charm lasts for 24 hours or until one of us attack him.
Yeah. If you're not attacking him and you want to try to lead him downstairs, since Diva has him a little bit charmed, he'll follow. He'll follow after Blep. If you hold out that stake, and kind of like tease him with it. Yeah, so
this rope just in case.
Yeah, so he'll start following, and again, this looks quite comical because Blep is very small. Blep is a grung, and this is a furbolg that is turning into a werewolf that is like following after, and like even on all fours, he's taller than Blep is. And he's just like kind of crawling, and you see as he moves that the bones inside of him are shifting because the skeleton of a werewolf is a little bit different than that of a man. His shoulders are moving to the sides, his hips are moving to be sleeker, his legs reaching out behind him, his ankle stretching out so that it's a little bit higher up, and the part of his foot that touches the ground is just his toes and the ball of his feet. The clothing that he's wearing has tears in it as he's becoming this feral beast as you lead him through this inn full of people.
I'm gonna start mage handing, like doors closed. It's like
all right, yeah. You manage to start like closing up. You're cutting a path of like places where people aren't going to be looking here. Hopefully, shutting doors. Anyone else want to do something to run interference?
So I want to run
bear
a
costume
4.
on him.
You're throwing what on him? I'm sorry.
My bear costume, because I'm still wearing my costume from last night. I'm gonna
Great.
throw my bear costume since he's on all fours, so he just looks like a bear.
Nothing to see here, folks. Just a bear.
Just a bear.
Great. Yeah, you managed to do that. If you want, roll me a dex check. Just a straight dex for like how well you managed to throw it on him.
Can I like lead forward? Can I go forward?
Yeah, you
in
can
front
take
of the
point.
group? Okay. I'm just trying to like run interference.
All right. What did you roll with that dex?
14.
All right, yeah. You've at least got the headpiece on him. It's not covering his whole head, but it's like he has two angry snouts, one on top. But that's the bear one, and then one that is his, and you can just barely see his eyes like peering out from underneath the costume fangs. Zara, you can roll. Let's say it's up to you how you'd like to try to get people out. You can persuasion to try to like get to people and be like, hey, look over there. You could do performance to distract them. Or if you've come up with something, I will allow you to pitch me any skill and tell me how it is helping you.
So I'm gonna go with performance and a head, and I'm going to almost sell it like it is a bear. Like, look, like we like ha, and like, okay, and now we're done with the bear and going down to the basement. Like, look, it's a funny bear, ha, let's keep moving. Like,
All right, roll that performance check.
okay. Okay, 16 plus 3 is what, 8? No, 19? 19.
You have done such a phenomenal job.
I'm
You
like,
have
look at the bear. Look at the bear.
You have hyped a group of children. They were there and they're so excited. And you see these kids like jump up and they're like, "That's a bear! I want to see the bear! Can I see the bear? We should go over and see the bear!" And they,
No, bear, no.
No, you can look at the bear, but you can't touch it. You can't get in its way.
It is very feral. Don't touch the bear.
all right, as you scare them back, oh no, I'm so afraid of it. This is so cool, and they're so excited, and they like hug each other because they're frightened, but like it's that fun frightened, and they think that this is perfectly harmless and nothing bad will happen to them. They do not realize that what is happening. You are able to make your way. You're able to get down to the basement, and pushing aside a couple of things, you can find your way to kind of a corner that has stone walls.
That. Yes.
Do we have any chains, guys?
I have
I
rope.
have a tongue.
Sounds like rope's the best you got.
All right. If you think it'll hold.
All right, anyone who would like to, one person can do a survival check to try to tie him.
I have a +2.
Yeah,
I have
same.
a +1.
I have +2.
Hang on. Am
All right.
I the survival? Oh, I am.
Oh yeah, you roll.
I know how to survive. Oh no, I don't. That's a 5.
All right, you have tied some knots around his wrists and his legs, and you've attached him to the wall. And the results of that roll will come into play at a later date. You have successfully tied him up. He's tied up. It'll be fine. Anyone who would like to can make a perception or you know what? Anyone else can make a survival check to check the knots. Because even with
I
+1.
trust
Yeah.
Leopard. I trust my friend.
I'm gonna check. I roll a 7.
Yeah, those knots are great.
You did a great job. I
You
have never
double-checked
seen
it.
better
This guy
knots.
is not going
These
anywhere.
are the best knots I've seen in my life.
You have solved You have solved Werewolf of Carcassonne. Success.
The day is saved.
Now,
I don't
now,
think I would be familiar with knots, just in general.
yeah, you might not have much need for
I
them
don't know
since
if
you can
there's
just climb
much need-
trees.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I go and I'm gonna give everybody a pocket rock? A pocket rock.
Okay.
I'm
All
gonna
right,
give
yeah.
Alpha a pocket rock, Leopard a pocket, Bluff a pocket rock. So we all have one pocket rock.
Yeah, you all have one silver pocket rock.
Does that affect Leopard in any way?
Ooh, that's a good question. Leopard, what do you do with this pocket rock when you get it? Like, how do you hold it? Where do you put it?
Yeah, I'm just kind of holding it in my hand, kind of like looking at it a little bit before I
Huh.
put it in my pouch.
It itches a little bit when you hold it. It doesn't hurt, but like your palms like start itching as you hold it, and like when you move it over to the other palm, like that palm starts itching too.
Is the rock supposed to be itchy? Eh.
No.
Little.
Why? Is it itchy to you?
I don't know. Why does this itch? Why do you itch?
I'm
Don't
not
ask questions.
I'm not itchy. You're itchy. So like, I'm gonna take back the rock. I'm like,
Ah.
are you itchy now?
You're not itchy now.
Everything's fine.
I put it back in her hand. How about now?
Not itches.
Leah.
Go back and forth. What? It itches again.
Do you know what's in the pocket rocks?
Rock. And roll.
It has silver in it, Leah. Can you touch your silver sword? Your special silver sword that they gave us?
Oh, I'll put the rock in my pouch and then I'll pull out the silver sword.
Well, the nice thing about swords is the handle is not silver, and so it doesn't itch when you take out the sword.
See? Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Womp womp.
However, when you take out the sword and start swinging it around, there is somebody here who is sensitive to silver who notices it. and Kel like looks up and he's like, oh, and he like stands up against the wall there, and you thought furbolgs were tall before, like his head touches the ceiling, and you realize you have a giant werewolf on your hands who is like, he's threatened by this, and he's looking at you, and he looks really confused because he sniffs the air as he looks at you.
Kel?
Put it back.
He chills out a little bit when it's put away.
I don't think he's okay.
Yeah, don't whip that out again.
Keep it down here.
But what if? Okay.
Leah, when you put it away and you look at your hand, your fingers are longer than they're supposed to be. The knuckles seem to be more protruded. They're lengthy. The color of the fur is no longer the color that you're used to. It is that darker, coarser, brown, with a little bit of gray in it. Your wrist extends a little bit from your hand. Both of your hands. You feel like you probably have a natural attack now.
I don't think this is natural. Sarah?
Do we know?
Do we know where to go?
Okay.
No, it doesn't look okay.
All right, you can each roll a history or religion check, or an Arcana check, to maybe know somebody in town who knows things.
I got a 24.
All right, which
Oh
one did you
my
roll?
God.
Arcana.
Arcana. All right.
I'm just gonna go with his roll.
Yeah, with a 24, you know that there's there is somebody who maybe has an idea because they went to school. They went to Nuxum Mopo's Academy for Wayward Wizardry. And if you can go talk to him, well, he's a grad student there. Maybe he knows something about magic. And there is a Wayward study that is not too far from the Get In here in Carcassonne. And if you want to, you can head there.
Yes, I'm going to suggest this.
All right. You're all gonna go. You're gonna bring Connie, and you're gonna leave this guy tied up underneath.
Yeah, those are really good knots. So I mean, I'm not worried.
So I have thieves' tools. Thieves' tools wouldn't involve anything that would be able to small file, set of lockpicks, small mirror.
You could
scissors,
definitely
pliers.
unlock those knots.
No. So I was like wondering if read the extent of it's thieves' tools. Like, I might have something that's like a lock, but it doesn't. So never mind. Yeah, the knots look solid. We're good to go.
Yeah.
There are some crates down there. If you want, you could probably push them in front of him and just cord them off some. But that's probably it that you've got down to use.
I assume there's a door to this basement. Can I break one of my lockpicks in the lock?
All right. Yeah. You can make a check for it. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
For what?
Go ahead and use the.
Wait, you have to do that after we're out of the room,
as we're
though,
leaving.
or else we'll get locked in
Yeah.
here.
So as we're leaving, lock up. Break a lockpick.
Yeah, for sure. One person
lock.
will have to run some interference for you, because you are breaking a lock in the Get In, and maybe somebody can see you. So somebody's got to do something distracting. But then once they.
I got this.
Well, maybe not that kind of distracting.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just try to distract people. So maybe go into the dining area and just start handing things around, so they just kind of start floating around on by themselves. Just kind of have people be like, "Oh, what's going on?"
All right.
Hopefully.
All right. Roll me a persuasion.
Okay. Persuasion. 7.
3 people turned and dude, there's a verbal component to that spell. I can hear you. Put down my drink. What are you doing? What is this? And he gets up all angry, and you realize you've angered a very large man.
Oh no!
Don't worry, he's not as big as a werewolf furbolg. But he's just an angry large man. He's like, "What are you doing, man? What are you doing? Why are you doing this to me?"
My friend, I'm just practicing some magic here.
Yeah, practicing some magic with my beer stein.
I'm sorry.
This is a successful distraction. So Zara, you can go ahead and make a roll. You've got proficiency because it's thieves' tools, and you can use dexterity.
All right. So, okay. Let's do 13, 15.
15. Yeah. You've shoved that in there. You've broken it off. You're gonna have a -1 on some checks with that if you use it now that you've broken off one of your favorite bits of lockpick. But you think you've successfully jammed that lock, and it's gonna require a locksmith to repair. All right. So
awesome.
You can make your way over to the Wayward study. Oh, what was that?
Oh, before we leave, I just want to press against the door to where Kel is chained up, and just say,
Stay.
All right. Cool. Yeah, he has heard you, and you don't hear anything back, which might be
he does have
that he's
soup.
doing it.
Right? Just have soup.
Yeah, if you want to have brought down the soup, you left the soup in the skull for him, and so he has a little bowl sitting right there. You can write Fido on the side of the skull.
We made a makeshift kennel for him, out of
Oh no!
out of barrels and
We got the
If
newspapers.
you find a dog on the side of the road, you have to barricade it in the bathroom for one night to make sure that it's okay. because
yeah,
without
check it for
food,
fleas and
what-
give it a bath and stuff.
What kind of skull? Because wouldn't soup in a skull just kind of sieve out like a...
Yeah,
like
what
a
kind of
sieve?
skull is this that you had,
Yeah.
Leopard?
It was a troll skull, so it's got the nice big rounded bottom.
Yeah. You get, as
Okay,
long as you're
cool.
keeping it in the cranium part, yeah, you'll be all right.
Okay, cool.
He can sip through the nose holes.
Yeah,
Um,
like a little pour spout.
yeah.
Straw.
Oh yeah. Oh look, the occipital lobe. And yeah. So he's got a little troll brain soup down. And yeah, you think you're probably okay for the moment there. And you make your way over to the Wayward study. When you get there, there's a door there, and you can knock. I assume someone will. Perfect with the extra large claws. Yeah, and as you do that, you know you hear, "There's no one home." Oh
And who
crap!
answered it?
Ah shit! No one did.
But who are you?
I don't think there's anyone here.
She's
Left,
right.
no, left,
What?
Left,
No,
no,
but
no.
that's not how it
Uh-oh.
works.
No, but the door
That-
said that no one is here.
Yeah. I,
By the
the
handle.
great door, have declared that behind me there's no one.
Oh, it's a great door. We should listen to it.
They call me Dormammu.
Zara, do you have any more lockpicks? I don't know.
I totally do. I also have this, and she pulls like out of like the tiniest little bag, a crowbar, like like I kind of like put it into the door, and I'm like, Leah, just kick that, please, just kick that. Like,
Oh,
As you-
Shoulder check the door.
As you start banging on it, the great Dormammu has to pay for damages to his dormitory. Please don't do that.
I have
please
a
open then.
large problem.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Am I familiar with this festival at all?
Yeah. You've heard of it. You're
Like, a little
familiar with it. Yeah.
Do I know if there's any phrase or the like that children would say coming to a door to ask for soup?
Yes.
Mhm.
We're gonna quiz the rest of your group because they do know it, and we're gonna see if anyone remembers it.
So it's like for the forge.
Not
The
it is
full-
feed the forge.
Feed the
feed the forge. Yeah,
That is correct.
Feed the
Yeah,
forge.
feed the forge.
Feed the
Uh,
forge.
So yeah, you would know that feed the forge is the thing that you declare to trick or treat here. But yeah, so yeah, the door keeps protesting, and he says
Did Leah die?
she might have had to step away for a second. But yeah, the door keeps protesting and says yeah, I please, the great Dormammu would request that you not do that to my door because Nuxum is gonna take it out of my ass. Please stop.
It sounds uncomfortable, but I am more uncomfortable. Shoulder.
Then why don't you open the door?
Just make it easy. Open the door.
All right, but there is no one inside, says the voice on the other side of the door as it unlatches and it opens, and you in fact do not see anyone on the inside. Leopard, you can roll me a perception check.
This is
Turning
fine.
into a werewolf
Very
has
perceptive.
benefits.
Yes. Let's see. I got 16.
Oh yeah, you smell someone there. Now normally you don't have that accurate of a sense of smell, but today, like your nose is extended a little bit further out from your face, and you can identify, you figure out exactly where they are. There seems to be a person standing just right there, but they are not visible to you.
Gonna poke down at that spot with my elongated claw.
Ah, crap, says the voice.
I smell you. Can you help?
He sighs, and the invisibility drops. And this wayward wizard sighs and looks down, and he says, "Okay, well, what's up? I had a lot of studying to do, but all right. Hi." He waves to all of you. Says, "I'm Martin. And what do you want?
Oh,
Elfin?
So we're here because our friend is in a bit of a pickle, I think. And we're hoping.
Rick?
Yes.
Oh, I know him. I don't deal with him.
No. Our friend here, Leopard, is dealing with a little bit of a situation.
you could
This is-
say it's a little bit rough.
Yes.
He looks up
It's a little hairy.
and he's gonna give a once over, and he's gonna be like, oh, what happened?
It's a little pointed.
Hmm.
Well, you see, I got a scratch, and then the fur did not match the rest of my fur, and then now my hands cannot stop doing this.
He looks and because he does speak pun, he is able to determine the hints that Blep is dropping, and it's one of the classes at the School for Wayward Wizardry, and yeah, so he's aware, and he realizes, and he like puts two and two together, and he like
Wait,
takes
he's
a step
aware?
back. He's
Aware
not
of what?
but yeah, you get inspiration for wearing me at my own game.
That was good.
And yeah, he looks up and he says, lycanthropy. I've seen this before. And he like backs up, and he's got his hand. You notice his hand is like on a doorknob that's behind him that he seems to be moving towards. This door looks like it's sturdier than the other one. As you're looking at him, now that you're on the inside of Dormammu, you realize Dormammu is just a boring door. This door seems to be something that protects things, like a real sturdy door. There's something behind there.
I'm gonna go ahead and pull up and just be like, so what do you think, buddy? You know, and just kind of put my hand over him a little bit, see if I can kind of hold him in place a little.
All right. You can roll me a persuasion check to be like friendly enough that he's
Yeah.
not like, what the?
Yeah, who is this guy? A 19.
Yeah, he looks at you and he sees the magic in your eyes, and he's like, I too have studied. And he's like, all right, I know this guy I know. He wouldn't be dangerous. And so yeah, you're able to put an arm around him, and he relaxes a little bit, and he's like, all right, well, so what happened?
We were part
She
of the
got a
festival.
scratch.
All right, so
Yeah.
that's scratch. And he's going to look at the scratch, and he's going to say, I need to run some tests. And he's going to he gets a little bit more courageous once he starts thinking about tests and magic and things like that. And despite the fact that just a moment ago he was terrified of Leopard, he just grabs her by the hand and starts walking her towards that door, and opens the door and takes her inside, holding her by the claw. And he's now so focused on the science of it that he's forgotten that he's just brought a werewolf into his sanctum. And there's bottles, and there's beakers, and there's things flowing between them, and they're little magic things that pop, and like a little, and you notice there's also a jar that is filled with bees, but when you look at the bees, you realize that they're not bees, they're buzzpurs, and buzzpurs are like bees, except they're also like kittens. They're little tiny kittens that fly around and are bee-sized, and playfully jump on one another from across the jar, and tackle and roll, and then get back up and fly around. There has been much debate over the years here in the Tense River Basin as to whether the sound they make is a buzz or a purr. In fact, it has brought the seated council, the ruling body of the Tense River Basin, to a standstill. At multiple occasions, it has ended debate because they could not come to an agreement, and they have had to adjourn for the day in anger and frustration that no one could agree whether it's buzz or a purr.
Oh my god.
Quick table talk.
Yeah.
Steve,
Uh-huh.
hands down, my favorite creature of all time. I cannot contain. I am so happy right now. I want one.
Can I have a
So bad. So bad.
Since
Do they live
Leah
in
mentioned the hive, if you want, everybody can make a nature check to know about buzzpur hives.
Oh,
Oh,
I am very
hell yeah.
dangerous.
I got a 19.
I got a 22.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So yeah, with the 19, you would know, and anyone who gets up around that height. Can you bring up that map again, Art? Over in the forests to the, what would be the west, the southwest, just past the get in, Zara, you know that there's a plant that they particularly like. So a little bit further to the west from the wayward study there, the other west. Yeah. Keep going. Oh, there it is. Why, there's buzzpur weed. And you'll see that this is a plant that has on the bottom yellow flowers, purple flowers in the middle, and yellow flowers up top. And the buzzpur are known to congregate around it. It's found all over the Tense River Basin. It always looks like that. And so if you ever go looking at my maps of the Tense River Basin, it is located all over, and any place that you find it is a place that you can find buzzpur.
I literally wore yellow and purple ears. What? This
You are
is
here for the
great.
buzzpurs.
I'm here for the buzzpurs.
Now, with a 22, you know that this is not their hive. They visit these places, but they have a hive up in the mountains. But they have only one hive for the entire Tense River Basin. And you know, in fact, with the 22, you'd also know that they seem to be able to communicate with one another. They seem to think as one. All of the buzzpurs together form a single hive mind. And somewhere there is a queen who is directing them.
I don't know how I feel about buzzpurs now.
A mama cat? Like a mama buzzpur
Yeah,
cat?
giant mama cat.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but maybe, y'all, they might want to assimilate us though.
Can you communicate with them?
I might be okay with it. I could.
Thank you for following.
Communicate with them. Oh my god.
Can I please cast? I would like to please cast speak with animals.
Yeah, you can cast it. However,
Um,
it will not work on them. They are not an animal.
they're not
If
an
you'd like, you
animal?
can make an Arcana check to figure out what they are. Anyone who would like to may make this check.
I only have a +1 if someone has something better.
I got a 14.
A 14? Well, you're not sure. It could be a couple of things. Maybe a monstrosity. Maybe something magical in nature. Perhaps an aberration. But not something that is natural to this world.
Ooh.
Can I speak infernal near them and see if they like perk up a bit or something?
Yeah,
Like-
you can.
Just like, hey, how are you? Like how you would like talk to like a baby, or if you saw a kitten, like, oh, it's your baby.
Oh, they're
But it's, like,
perfectly happy. Like if you
infernal.
talk to them like that, they react the same way you expect a kitten would. Like they hear you, they regard you, and you know, like they're happy to play with you. Like they're inside of this jar right now, unless
Yeah.
you decide to open it up. But like they don't seem to have enough intelligence individually to regard you linguistically.
Okay. It's more of a tone thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we ask Martin what he knows about them?
Yeah. You can ask Martin.
I'll be like, hey, what's up with these here?
He says, "Oh, I am researching them. They're all over the Tense River Basin, and I don't think that they're supposed to be here."
What's your hypothesis?
Well, I think that they've come from outside of the storm. You don't know about the storm, do you? So I'm gonna blow your mind. I'm sorry to do this, but the Tense River Basin is we're cut off from the rest of the world. He looks to all of you and he's like, yeah, and you remember outside it's a nice day. You didn't see any storm. It's like there's a storm that rages around the Tense River Basin, has for no one knows how long. No one can get out, no one can get in. Well, one person can get in and out, but everybody else is stuck. But somehow these got in here, and every test that I've tried, it looks like they're not from here at all.
Do you know who the one person that can get in and get out is?
He says, "Oh yeah, she works up at the Sky Dock." Yeah, you're gonna be looking for Millie Gustrider. Right. And then he's gonna look back to Leopard. and look her over, and he does some, like he puts a couple things, he takes your hand and he like drips some stuff on it and like bubbles up, and then he drips something else, and this one itches a whole lot, but he like holds your hand and is like no, and like keeps poking and prodding it, and it's a little bit annoying because he's like doing that science nerd thing where he's like hold on, let me check, and forgetting that you are a person, but then eventually like he figures it out and is like, all right, it looks like I don't know. You're becoming a werewolf. I don't know that there's any way to fix this now. But there might have been a way.
What?
Well, if you can find the original werewolves, well, they have something that can control it. The very first werewolves that lived here in Carcassonne, well, they were able to control their abilities as a lycanthrope. Now most werewolves, when they become werewolves, they become angry, they become violent, they become uncontrolled and dangerous to everyone around them. And then he realizes he's still holding that clawed hand, and he like pulls his hand back, and he's like, but those original werewolves, that must have been 150 years ago.
Is there anything we can do to delay the transformation?
He says, I do have something, and he starts rummaging around, and he pulls out a bracelet that when you look at it, it's made out of this metal that it seems to be colorful. It seems to be prismatic. As you turn it, the colors change, but it doesn't like give off its own light. It just sort of retools the light that comes into it into different things. And he says, he looks up to Leah and is like, may I? And he wants to put it on your wrist. And puts it on your wrist, and you gather that it will slow it. And I'll explain, like this will slow it at least for a couple of days, which at least should get you through the full moon. I've only got one of these though. So it's a good thing there's just the one of you. We'd be in trouble if there was another werewolf. That'd be, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's no cure for the...
He says, not that I know of. But maybe, you'll have a whole month.
Yeah, maybe we can find the original werewolves.
But where? Where is this werewolf?
He says, well, I can tell you where. They're up in the forests to the northwest here in Carcassonne, but those ones are feral. Those ones are dangerous, and there's only a couple of them, but those aren't the ones that can control their transformation. Those ones are probably 150 years ago. And he looks like he's holding back some information from you.
And
Okay, there's one way that you might be able to find them, but it's risky, and I wouldn't necessarily advise it.
We're listening. This is a little past.
He sighs and he looks around and he like makes sure that the front door is closed, and then he looks over to the buzzpers and he like, for a moment he's like, I should keep them from hearing, but he's like, nah, they know. And then he looks back at you and he says, I think that the storm that surrounds the Tense River Basin, I've talked to Millie about it before, and she says it's called the Wen Winds. If there's anything that can move you back through time, it would be those. But no one survives going through the Wen Winds. That's a fool's errand.
does Millie survive the Winds?
Oh yeah, she does. She's the only one.
Does she tell you how she survives or why she survives?
I think, and I'm not sure because she hasn't told me, it's a trade secret, but I think it has to do something with her anchor. I think it's made out of werestone, just like this bracelet I gave you. And he explains it's werestone with an H, not an E. Well, there is an E. There are two E's, but they're not immediately after the W.
What?
So there are the Wen Winds, as in the time when,
right.
and then there's the Where Stone, as in the place where. And so he is the metal that bracelet is made out of werestone, and it's somehow tied to the Wen winds. He says, I guess your only chance would if you talk to Millie. But again, I don't know that I can advise trying to go through the Wen winds.
Well, if I don't, then I turn into a now wolf. So
It's a very good point. And either way, I wouldn't be there. So that, yeah, I guess that's reasonable. You can. Yeah, she's up on top of the mountain over there.
All right. So Millie knows about the Wen winds and the bee purrs. It sounds like a 2-for-1 deal.
Yes.
Oh, she doesn't know much about the buzzpurs, but she does know about the Wen winds.
She's at the sky dock, right?
Correct. She is at the sky dock. So right next to the lake in the middle of town, there's a mountain that goes up, and there it is referred to as the high dock, because it in fact is a dock that is way higher than the water level. It's all the way up this mountain and just extends out. So if you would like to, you can head up there, or you can keep questioning Martin.
I think the sooner we get going, the sooner we can get this fixed. And the sooner we can.
He says that makes sense. Oh, wait. Before you go, I have one thing. And he takes out a book, and he's like, can you write a recommendation for me? I'm school. I just, because I helped and did stuff, and it'll look good for me on my record. And he's gonna hand it to you because he knows that. Elfin, you get it. Wizards, we have to deal with stuff. And so he's like, can you just write a nice recommendation for me? Mr. Mopo, he's really picky. He'd love to see it.
Sure. I kind of just take the piece of paper and I'm just like, to whom it may concern, Mr. Martin has proven himself to be an expert of lycanthropy and what those
buzzpurs
with his excellent theories, and I highly recommend him for whatever you want. Period.
Great. And he's fantastic, and he seals it, and he grabs your hand to be like, do you have a signet or something? And he just puts your ring right on it, there, done, great. All right, thanks. Well, all right, bye. We'll miss you. And he lets you all head out. And Diva, I see you're stepping out for a minute, or for the night. So if you want, you can stay there and hang out with Martin.
I would love to.
And you get to spend the evening hanging out with these buzzpurs in their jar, and he's brings them out to the main room so that you can sit and play with them. And thank you so much for joining us tonight, and I hope you feel better.
Miss you tons. Thank you. I'll talk to you soon. I'll keep you posted.
All right, let us know. And then the rest of you can start heading your way. You make your way up to the top of that mountain, where you find waiting for you a hot air balloon.
Oh.
Is it already inflated and everything?
It is already inflated. It is resting right there. It has a normal sized basket sitting there that looks like it probably has room for 2 people. And the balloon itself is it's all sorts of colors. It's a rainbow in of itself.
Does it match the bracelet?
It does, although it is not made out of werestone. It just matches in thematic colors.
Can we try to squeeze the 3 of us in there?
If as you go up, you realize there is somebody taking a nap inside of it. She looks to be a red-headed halfling.
Okay.
She's wearing some armor. She looks pretty rough and tumble. But she currently is laying back, and she has some ropes over her eyes, and she is taking a little nap. She drowses.
Yeah, you don't disturb people when they sleep. That's
Well,
not my
this
thing.
is kind of important.
Yeah, as you start talking around her, one eye opens. And you see her shift just enough that the ropes move, and you can just see one eye peeking out, and one pupil darting to each of you. And then she tries closing it again to see if you'll go away.
Millie Millie.
I cough louder.
Millie.
You see her like nod her head, and she's like, "Yep, that's me. Oh, all right, give me just a second." And then she gets up and she like throws off the ropes that seem a little bit tangled around her. She moves around a little bit, like does that hop back thing to get it off her leg, and then she shifts around and she goes, "Okay, all right. Hi. Oh, no, hi. Oh, there's a whole bunch of you. Oh, you are Harry. Yes. Hi, I'm Millie Guststrider. Are you here to get a trip?"
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
fantastic.
Basically.
She yawns
Yes.
and she's like, yeah. All right, yeah. We'll take you on a trip. It'll be fine. So that's how many passengers?
Three.
Three.
All right, great. And she's just gonna take 1 gold from each of you. And then she says, "Great, yeah, you can all get on." And all of you look at this balloon, and you realize there's only seats for 2, and also she is there. So you're not sure how you will all fit.
I will squeeze into the corner and then put Zara kind of right here, and then Elfin like right here, and we'll kind of just
We're just one big
Okay.
happy family and just be like,
Yeah,
with my
totally.
extra long arms and claws now, it's kind of like a weird seat belt.
Okay, so with all of you in there, like wrapped around, there is absolutely no room for her to get in. And she's like, "You don't all have to stay up in the top if you don't want to."
What do you mean stay up in the top?
What?
Just, come on. And she like guides you all back out. And as you look at it, it's just a basket. But she reaches down and she grabs a little string on the bottom of the basket. She lifts it up and the bottom of the basket opens up, and you would expect that to just open up to a hole, but instead it opens up to a rope ladder that goes down. And it seems, well, nice down there. Who wants to be the first person to go down into the pillow fort?
Pillow
Can I
fort?
stick my head down there first and then
You
just
can.
be like, "Wow, it's a lot bigger on the inside."
She
wow.
says, yeah, it is. Well, that's the thing about the pillow fort. And as you do that, she's actually gonna reach out. She's gonna grab your hand, be like, "No, hold on," because she sees the wearstone bracelet that you are wearing. She says, "All right, so I'm gonna let you all in, and you can go down there. There's plenty of room for everybody, but that," and she points to your bracelet, "that should probably stay out here."
Whoa,
And she says,
why?
"Oh, I realize I haven't done my..." You woke me up. Usually I give everyone a little pre-flight check. Let me go through it right now. And she stands up and she like straightens herself out, stretches a little bit, and like does that last yawn. Scratches her head and like nudges the balloon, and the balloon starts to float. It is no longer attached to the dock, and it is just floating there, kind of waiting about a foot away. And she says, "Welcome to Go With The Flow Transportation. I'll be your captain, cabin crew, and confidant on this journey. You may call me Millie Guststrider. Before you board, there are some provisos, quid pro quos, dictums, and edicts you should adhere to. First, if you happen to be carrying any extra-dimensional spaces, pocket universes, folds in the nature of reality, alternate timelines, or MacGuffin-powered devices, please inform your cabin crew prior to descent into the pillow fort so we may prevent the absolute and complete destruction of this part of reality by trying to bring them inside. This balloon is equipped with handy-dandy patented stuff on the side stacks. You can find them on the side. You can put your stuff in them." Great. And then with that she'll look and she'll be like, "So inside, once you're inside, there are tiny sandwiches, and they're tiny to me, so they're absolutely diminutive to all of you. Because I'm a halfling. So for many of you, they'll be absolutely diminutive sandwiches, but they are delicious. I've made sure that there are enough for everyone, but please, only 1 mineral water each. Our flight time should be..." Oh, where are we going?
That's a good question.
We were looking for the Wenwins.
Oh, you want to go through
We're looking
them?
to go outside.
Yes, we're looking to go through the
store.
Wenwins.
Oh.
Yes.
Well,
we
then the
have a,
duration is
like-
really not applicable anymore.
Wait for the sub.
Whoa.
Yay!
Yay!
Welcome, Blink. Blink Dog Swarm. That's terrifying. I'm frightened already. But yeah, she's like, "Oh yeah, well, I guess we could do that. Sure." And she's gonna let you all go inside, except Leopard, because you do have that bracelet, and that is in fact a MacGuffin-powered device. And if you were to bring it inside, it does risk the complete end destruction of this part of reality, because those of you who are familiar with extra-dimensional spaces know that bringing extra-dimensional spaces into extra-dimensional spaces usually results in death for everyone around and elimination from reality. And that suggests to you something about what that Warestone does.
So should I stay up top or?
She nods and says, "Yeah, you can. Don't worry, you can ride up here with me. I mean, there's room for 2 of you up here if you want. But at least one of you probably needs to go downstairs so that you're safe."
Safe?
Well, you want to go through the. You don't want to fall out, right?
Oh.
Well, if there's 3 of you, then it's gonna be a little bit crowded, and someone might fall.
You two better go inside. I'll stay on the top.
Okay.
I'm gonna just jump into the pillows then and be like, all right,
It
well,
is
you ain't gotta
so
come in.
comfortable. It's like the inside of a ship down there. There's tons of space. There's room for like 12. And as you go in, it's all nice and like embroidered, and it's filled with pillows of all sorts. Some of them have that kind of blue that suggests they're from Carcassonne. Some of them have other colors that clearly make them from other places. And it is super comfortable. In fact, it smells faintly of lilac. Things are very calm down there. You do see a plate of tiny sandwiches, and they are, as described, tiny to her and diminutive to you, and they look delicious. They're little tiny. They have a little toothpick in each of them, and they look delicious. Today we're going to say that they are lemon curd sandwiches. But you do not see the promised mineral water.
Such a letdown.
Yeah.
Can I go down and grab a sandwich and bring one back up for Leah?
Yes, absolutely.
Like, here you go.
Can you ask for some water while you're up there?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
totally.
Can you bring me pillow too, please? Thank you.
Yeah, you can bring one of the pillows up. And she says, "Oh, they're in there. You just got to look for them." And either of you who are down there can make an investigation check.
I'll see if I can
Yeah,
find them.
totally. Will
Check
be
behind the pillows.
23.
Yes, they are behind the pillows. Well, not exactly behind the pillows. There is one pillow that you notice that it's attached. Like the seats all kind of have the upholstery on them, and this one's just a little bit disjointed. And when you go over, you realize it's because it opens up. And when you open it up and you look inside, well, a little bit of cool air kind of rushes out at you, and you see, in fact, 3 mineral waters and another bottle in the back that seems to have an electric blue lizard wrapped around it as though it is napping there. It's covered in frost.
Can I touch it?
Yes, you can. Do you?
You know what? I'm just gonna take my mineral water. I don't know. I'm in some weird, like, dimensional space, and I'm just gonna sit down and just pretend I didn't see anything.
All right.
You know what? Yeah. Just
All right,
enjoy
yeah.
this pillow.
It's probably fine.
Yeah.
You also gather she didn't invite you to take that bottle.
Yeah.
And there's a
exactly.
little lizard guarding it. If you want, as you look at it, it is also, it's clear, just like the water, but it has a different character to it, the way that it's frozen. With a little sniff, Zara, are you gonna try to take this bottle from this cute lizard?
Can I just like pet the lizard?
You
Can I just,
can try
like-
to pet it.
Yeah, I totally want to try
As
to
long
pet
as
it.
you just pet it and you don't touch the bottle, it seems fine with it. He is freezing cold to the touch. This lizard seems to be some sort of ice elemental.
Okay.
And since you get
Noted.
close enough to look at it, you realize this is a bottle of vodka. And it is Millie's, and it is not for you.
But it looks like mineral water. I could have been like, oh, I went for this bottle of mineral water. Oh, whoops.
I think the lizard would have let you know that it was the wrong bottle.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you gather that the lizard probably wouldn't be
shit.
happy about letting you take it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is Millie's vodka, which should only instill confidence in the fact that you are going to have her fly a piece of fabric that floats through a storm that has been raging for centuries. And she says, all right, great, I guess we're all set then. And she unties everything, and the balloon starts going off without her. And she's like, all right, that's fine. And there's a rope that's dangling down, and as it swings, right, it's swinging back and forth, and just at the right time, it swings back over as though she's waiting for it. She grabs hold of it, and it lifts her off the ground, and she starts going with you. And as you start lifting up into the sky, it's a clear, very nice day. Everything seems fine. You're just kind of floating, straight up, but you're floating. It shouldn't be a problem. As you get higher and higher, she starts climbing up. Those of you who are downstairs, you're just having a nice day. You're not noticing a thing. It's calm, it's quiet, it's comfortable. She climbs up, and as she starts getting higher, like you get up to a cloud, and Leopard, you see as you go through it, you feel a little bit of that mist and that moisture, like collecting on your face, on your cheeks and stuff. And then she says, all right, this is the part you're gonna have to hold on for. And with that, she takes a rope and pulls it, and the balloon kind of shifts and starts to turn, and it goes up into a darker cloud. And suddenly you are in the winds. The storm has begun. This is impossible. You were looking up at the sun just a little bit ago, like there were no storm clouds, but yet you feel like you are in the middle of a hurricane. The winds are whipping past you 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 miles an hour one direction, 60 miles an hour the other way. It's terrifying. These crosswinds are flying back and forth. You see, as she is not piloting from inside of the basket, she is on the outside of the balloon. She keeps running around, hanging off of things, swinging around, grabbing onto another rope, climbing up to the top. You don't see her for a little bit. You're just going off into these winds. The rain is coming down. It's coming up. It's coming from the sides. You notice as you were looking at your hand, like water is going from your foot up your body and then flying back out into the sky. You are being unrained on. The rain is backwards, and you don't know what is going on. And then she jumps off, and you see her grab a rope, pull the balloon, and it starts tumbling end over end. It is going in a corkscrew in the wrong direction. You don't know what's happening. It's all terrifying. Downstairs, it smells mildly of lilac, and you notice nothing.
Oh, even better. I'm just like,
It's fine, says Millie as she jumps off the side of this balloon, grabs another rope, swings herself around. She's going around in this twisty fashion, and the balloon is following with her. At this point, you will notice that those winds, they're so terrifying, they're so bad that the crosswinds, one of those ropes, the rope she is swinging on, she goes past one of those crosswinds, and the winds cross just above her, and they slice the rope like it is a razor blade. They are so strong, going hundreds of miles an hour one way against hundreds of miles the other way, and just shear it clear off, and she starts falling down towards the ground, and you see her disappear into a cloud as she shouts, "It's fine!"
What just happened?
Miss Millie.
Throw a rope down.
And then out of nowhere, she flies up from the other side. She had grabbed another rope that seemed to be hanging down that you didn't notice before, and it's just whipped her back up, and she lands right beside you and says, "Oh, don't worry about it. That happens all the time." And then she jumps back out of the basket, grabbing another rope, climbing up the side, pulling on something that, and every once in a while you notice that she starts like calming the balloon. She's like, it's okay, don't worry about it. We've done this a million times. You'll be fine. And then she's pulling and running, and just for a moment. Leopard, you can make a quick perception check. You think you see something in the clouds?
What do you see?
Not a damn thing. 5.
It's fine. You'd see nothing. There's a shadow. It passes by. It's an enormous shadow, but you don't know anything about that. So it's fine. You just keep going, and you fly, and you see her swing down. She's soaking wet. She's hanging upside down. The rope is tied around her leg, but there's no knots there, and you wouldn't know because you're terrible at knots. But as we've established earlier, it's actually just wrapped around her leg. There is no knot there. The rope is simply around her like a little helix, and she is swinging, and she goes, "We're almost there. Don't worry. Don't fall off." And then she climbs back up, and then it's calm. You are above the clouds now. And she sighs, and she comes down, and she slides down the rope and collapses into the basket. And she goes, "Whew. Oh yeah. So, back in, right? That's where you want to go."
Was
back
that
in?
it?
No. What?
What?
Well, we're above the storm now, and as you look out, you see that there is a hurricane beneath you, and she is above it. She is flying in the calm, in the atmosphere above this hurricane. As you look out, this hurricane goes as far as the eye can see in every direction. Perhaps what Martin says was true, and the entire Tense River Basin is protected by this storm that is impenetrable to anyone else but Millie.
Wow. This is incredible.
Those of you who are downstairs, if you want to come up, you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just be like,
Yeah.
it's time to come up and see what's going on here. So,
I'll like knock on the pillow fort door to kind of let them know that it's safe to come up.
are we good?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, the air is thin when you come up. It's not as nice as it was inside of the pillow fort. Connie, do me a favor. Roll me a, let's call it an athletics check. Did you hold on to the pillow that you brought up, that you had brought up, or not?
Okay.
Pillow.
All right. It's okay. Athletics. 15.
Yeah, you are clutching that pillow. You've got that pillow, and you did not lose it. There were chances. There were times that it almost could have gotten away, but you held it firm, and it is also wet now. But as you come up, everything is calm, and all of you can look out and you see this. And she says, "All right, so where is it you need to go?"
We're trying to find some werewolves, the original werewolves, the OG kind.
She says, "Oh, I don't know too much about werewolves. Do you know when they were?"
About 150 years ago.
She says, "Okay." And then she goes over to the side of her balloon, and she opens up one of those patented stuff on the side sacks. They're sacks. They're on the side, and they have her stuff in them. And as she goes through, she's picking through, and she's looking at little anchors. And each anchor it's maybe 8 inches long. And it's made out of that werestone, the very same that is made out of that bracelet that Leopard is wearing. And she's kind of picking through them and looking at them one at a time, and she eventually finds one that she looks at and is like, "I think this one will work." She says, "I'm not sure, but I could try." And then she's going to go off to the side, and she hangs off the side again, and she descends down. And all of you that are out there can make a quick perception check to notice that she is not holding the rope.
Yeah, 19?
Yeah, the rope is holding her.
3.
3, it's fine.
13.
But yeah, with the 19, you'll notice that the rope is holding her.
Like it wrapped around her?
It is intentionally moving on its own, and it is grabbing hold of her to let her descend down where she needs to. And as she's doing that, yeah, if you want, you can make an Arcana check to realize something disturbing.
Yeah.
Oh.
20. Dirty
Yeah.
20.
Oh, great. That means this balloon is alive. That means the pillow fort is inside of it. And you rode inside of a beast that you have no knowledge of. You've never seen something like this before, and you were just like chilling out inside of. As you think about it, that lilac smell, there was a light breeze, and it kept kind of going this way and that way, this way and that way.
I just want to be sure that was water that I was drinking then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but you do gather that you were inside of the mouth of the pillow fort as you were transported, and it's probably safe. I mean, she lets people down there, but this is clearly some sort of living creature of a bizarre form.
Have I let the rest of the group know, or is it just my own discovery?
It is up to you if you let them know.
So I'm gonna say that on the return trip, I'm just gonna stay up on top. I want to experience this for myself. Just to see what the excitement, what the commotion was all about. So if you guys are welcome to go down, or I'll join you, Leah.
Well,
I'll join you up on top.
And she pops back up. She's tied off that anchor just on the bottom. It doesn't seem functional in any way, shape, or form. Because one, it's an anchor. You are in the sky way away from everything. It's not attached to anything else. And she's just like, well, that does it. We should be good now. Are you ready?
Well, where are we
So
going?
ready.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Oh, we're gonna go back down. And she reaches up and she's grabbing at a rope right now. And she's gonna look at all of you. One person does have to go down. So I'm assuming
I'll
Zara
go back
climbs
down.
back down. All right.
Yeah,
And then she's like,
I'll
okay,
stay up here.
all right. And then she pulls the rope. And those
You
of
may
you who
want
are
to
up
hang
top,
on, Elfin.
you look up and you notice that as she pulls that rope was threaded through the balloon. Up the side, up over the top, down the other side. She pulls the rope, the balloon splits and opens. And the balloon begins to plummet down because you don't need to get somewhere, you just need to get some wind. And as you start falling down through the sky from above, you see as you are approaching down below you, that is definitely a hurricane. You are going into it. You no longer have a balloon. You just have fabric that is flapping above you. It is flapping in the wind. And she is like holding on. She is on the side of the balloon. She is facing down. She is like holding on to the basket, like head down, and she's like turning it back and forth like a toboggan, and just like this way, and like keeps directing it. And the thing is going like a roller coaster. It's flying through the air. It is just falling. This is some Buzz Lightyear shit. This is falling with style, and it is just going. and every wind that comes up, every updraft, every gust, she seems to catch it. And those the parts of the balloon, they're serving as sails, and they're directing it, and they kind of float out almost like wings as you watch them. They even actually give a flap or two before they make their way down, every once in a while turning this way or that to avoid a hazard, because as you're flying, you do see there are things in all of this. You can make a perception check now as you were going through.
I eat
Perception
another
check.
sandwich.
19.
What was that again? 19. Oh, you see what she's avoiding. Out in the clouds, you see something. It is huge, and I mean that as a size category as well as a descriptor. And it has what look like antlers that must be 15 feet across. Eyes of dark energy, angry, and it's a moose. There's a moose flying through the sky, and you don't know how or why, but it seems that the antlers are what are doing it. It is a total FU to Bernoulli's principle. Those antlers are supporting it, and it flies with the rest of its body hanging down. So instead of a moose that's on all fours, it's a moose that looks like it's standing up, and its head just swinging everywhere, and it's scanning the horizon. And for a moment, it turns and it sees you, and it like rears back, and it sees not just you, but the whole balloon, and then it dives towards you. And at this point, you have entered a chase. Millie is trying to get away. She's tobogganing one way, the other, and then she does a flip up, and she actually goes back underneath and behind it. You see that you are going back up into the sky. As you look above you, you now realize you are looking below you as you look above you, and below you, above you, you see that this moose is now underneath above you, and you see it like slowly turn, and it tries to turn up towards you, but it does not have the maneuverability that Millie Gust Rider does, and so she is able to corkscrew around it, dive right past it, as these winds are going 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 miles an hour this way and other, and that is just enough that she is able to avoid it, catch one of those gusts. The balloon spreads out its wingy balloony bits and catches that wind and gets an extra zoom of speed, and it manages to make it back down below the storm.
All right, real quick, Screaming Dragon. It is a wild moose chase.
It is a wild moose chase. They're right. Yeah, and you have now survived seeing an enormous. They apparently like it up there. They are like moose, but they are enormous. And you have re-entered the Winds. You have descended, and at this point you realize those wings work best inside of a storm, and you are now in a free fall. The whole thing is falling down. She can't really steer one way or the other. There's no longer winds to catch her. And she says, oh, don't worry, it's fine. I'm gonna need survival checks from the two people up top. You're gonna help with the rope.
I'm immediately regretting this decision to stay up on top. I rolled a natural one.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And survive.
20.
Yes. It was almost a TPK, but it's not. I'm kidding. Millie would have lived. And so with your help, you are able to start tying that rope, and she like gives it back to you, and she like takes it away from Elfin, and it's like no, that's not how we do it.
I'm just like, can I just go back
It's
downstairs?
okay. And she like hands it over to Leopard, be like, you do his work, and you're able to start getting it back up. You have to climb up, but that's all right. You're in a free fall. There's not really gravity to worry about at the moment. You are able to easily move because you're no longer in the basket as you make your way up, and you start threading that rope through that fabric again, and suddenly you find out. You find that it has succeeded, and you're rapidly approaching the ground. You see that shape of Carcassonne beneath you. You see all the things that you recognize, that whole map, but you are just hurtling towards it, right back towards the top of that mountain, and just as you start getting close to it, it fills up, and it slows down, and it starts to descend right before you get to the dock. But there is no dock. Millie didn't work here yet now, because you are 143 years in the past. As you look around, everything's a little bit different. You know, things are a little bit less celebrating. It's a different place. A couple of the shops that you used to know are no longer there. And yeah, thank you for following, Miss Amiska. Yeah, and so she brings you down, and she steers past the mountain, because now that there's no longer a dock there, she has to land somewhere else. And she brings you up to the northwest corner of Carcassonne, because you've told her that's where you need to go, and also she figured it out. And she brings you down on the edge of that forest, and she lands calmly. She said, "All right, well, so here," and she's gonna hand over that anchor to you. And say, "When you're ready, just plant that. I'll be able to find you."
Like just put it in the ground?
Yeah.
How far down?
Oh, just like anywhere. So, well, I don't want to deal with werewolves.
But you'll be able to come back?
Oh yeah, I'll come get you when you need me.
Do we have to be here specifically, or can we?
Oh no,
plant it
any
anywhere?
place you put it, when you put it, I'll find it. It's Warestone.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna make sure I put
Put it
this
on the
somewhere
belt?
safe. Yeah, put it somewhere safe.
Yeah, all right. Cool, yeah, so now you've got this anchor, and she drops you off, and you are now at this forest. What do you want to do?
Do we remember what Martin said about where the werewolves were?
Up to the northwest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Should we go into town?
That was it, though.
I mean,
right?
what would be the point of going into town? I mean, that's just like as a curious thing, maybe, but.
Yeah, you are in the place that you think you need to be. You are by in your time. There's a little house near here called Alana's Ward. It has not been built yet, but you are near Howler's Reach, that mountain that some of you are familiar with, and just beyond that is the Louvre Crag, and that seems to be the forest that you have been told the werewolves call their home.
Oh.
Yeah, let's go there.
The ones that can
Let's head
control.
there.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah.
Oh, right there. Okay.
Yep, that is the one.
Well, I think that's where we need to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're asking for a favor, right? We're asking for help. I think that we just need to be really open with that. Whoever we kind
Yes.
of run into.
Be extra
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, extra nice.
Yes, I'm
All right.
very good at being
As
nice.
Millie leaves, can I like wave to the balloon as she like leaves?
She waves, and a single rope either got caught in the wind or goes like this. Either way, I mean, it goes like this. It either waves or it got caught in the wind. Who
I'm just
knows?
gonna shudder because I know what it means. It's alive. I'm just like, oh.
I'm like, that's so cool.
I love Alvin's face doing all of that. Oh, what have I done?
Oh god.
Where have I been? The worlds I have seen. So tell me a little bit about what your plan is. How would you go about looking for werewolves in this forest?
Because I have extra smell ability, can I use that to kind of track where they would be?
Ooh, I'll take that. Yeah, you can have advantage on a survival check.
Okay.
Art, you know that we can see what you're doing, right?
We're learning about flicker-free LEDs.
For free.
Yes, you are.
And then you find yourself in the middle of
you.
the flicker-free LEDs. They have come from nowhere and surround you.
With no flicker.
You will never be able to defeat them.
No flicker. All right. What am I adding again?
Survival, and you have advantage on it
Whoa.
because of your smell. Not your smell, but your sense thereof.
Maybe both.
What'd you roll?
They were both 19s plus 3.
Nice. I'm gonna count them together then. They add together because a success is a success, but why not make it a 43? And so yeah, you roll into the 40s, and your animal magnetism directs you exactly where you need to go. You have this ancestral connection that you didn't, not really ancestral, but lycanthropical, and you start walking, you're like, this way, and everybody else, I assume, just trusts you, and you walk directly into a camp, and in that camp, you find a group of about 5 people, that are sitting around, like they're up to different camp things, but they've made a camp, and they look up, and one woman looks up and goes, hello? And then she looks at you and looks you up and down, and she can tell right off you're going through lycanthropy. Like, that's obvious, and like especially to a bunch of lycanthropes like themselves. And she sees that you're partway through your transformation, but not all the way. She stands up and looks at you with a lot of confusion. Also, you have fashion that is 150 years from now.
Are Zara and Elfin just like following behind Leah, like, hold on, we're following behind. Like,
Just doing our best to keep up.
Yeah, she looks at all of you, and she says, "Are you well?" And she like walks up to Leah and like puts a hand on you, because she can tell you're a lycanthrope, and she can even tell that you're one of theirs, but she can also tell that there's something wrong. There's something not right about you. And she just like puts a hand on your arm and like pulls it out to take a look and like look at your fur, and she like plucks just a little bit of it and looks at it. She says, what happened?
There was a scratch, and then now it's not there, and then now my fur does not match, and then I have these, but the bracelet helps.
She looks at the bracelet, super confused by that. That's some future tech right there. She's like, whoa, wizards.
So can Zara go, and she's like, okay, don't freak out. We're kind of from the future. Can you please help my friend?
What? Oh, wait. What? I'm not freaking out. I'm just very inquisitive. You're from the future, and your friend... She sighs a little bit. Just... Millie Gustrider. Shakes her head. All right. She says, here, have a seat with us. And she invites you to join her at their camp. And she like waves to the other people and is like, it's fine. It's one of those. And they go, oh, like there's a groan that goes through the group of all 5. And one like, oh, yeah, jeez. Yeah. Whew. You know, you gather that Millie Gustrider brings all sorts of random people to random points in time and space.
Oh my god.
And just drops them off because she's a taxi service. What you do once you're there is not her problem. She just is transport. And she's like, all right, you've come from a different everything. All right. And she says, well, that explains it, because I would have known if one of us did that. Says, and that's not our work. You're the right kind of lycanthrope, but we haven't done that recently to any person. We haven't had the
this
ritual.
was in the future.
Can you help?
She says, well, you're supposed to do a ritual before you get scratched or bit. I'm guessing you didn't do it. She nods. Well, guess it's good to know that we're forgotten. So she sighs and like looks up and says, all right, come with me. And she's going to start walking you towards something. And it's a tree where there seems to be sap that's dripping down. And she takes some of the sap and she starts to draw on the injury that you have. She says, this is going to be a little bit difficult and it might be a little bit painful because we're doing it in the reverse order. But I think it'll help. And then she starts to work on your arm, and the sap feels good. It feels nice as it kind of absorbs into you. And she performs a ritual. She starts doing some spell casting that you're not familiar with. It looks kind of druidic in nature. And she says something about you hear her saying things. She says something about the 3 stags and their blessing as she does it. And she calls out to them. And she calls out to them by name, but you don't recognize these names. You've never heard them before, and you're not really sure what they are. And you can't really make them out because they're in a bizarre language. But she then like starts to like breathe calmly and coolly on it, and the hair starts to regress into you. And she says, now there's one thing that it still needs. You need to be able to summon it. Because if you can't learn how to control your own transformation, then it will learn how to control you. And as she says that, you're turning back just into normal you. But you know there's something inside there. And she says, it's fine, it's pretty easy. And then there's an alarm. There's a bell that starts clattering. And all of the other people in camp stand up and look. And they look to one another. And one by one, they each transform into werewolves. And they start charging off to the north. And she says, oh no, this is as good a time as any. And she takes you by the hand. Yay, thank you for the subscription. She takes you by the hand. Oh, multiple subscriptions.
Yay!
Ah, a whole bunch of people. And they keep coming. And she takes you by the hand and she starts leading you. And she looks to the other 2 of you. And she says, I don't know that you're going to be able to survive this. Unless... She sighs a little bit. You can all roll a quick trust check with her. Call it a persuasion to see if you can convince her that she wants to help you or leave you behind.
Help.
Can I help convince her that they're strong and that I've seen them fight before?
Yes. You can make a D20 roll and distribute the numbers as you see fit to the both of them. So whatever you get, you can be like, oh, I got 10, 5 to you, 5 to you, or however you want to split it up.
I got a 7.
All right.
What role are we doing?
Persuasion.
Persuasion. I got a 13.
All right, so 7 and a 13. And what did you get, Connie?
11.
All right. How do you want to split up that 11 for the 2 of them?
So we'll do 6 to Elfin and then 5 to Zara.
All right. Yeah, with that, since you like speak on their behalf and like step in and you're like, no, they're good, they're all right. She nods and she says, all right. And then she invites both Zara and Alphen to come closer. And as she does, her fangs grow out. And she says, you have to accept it willingly. And then she holds some of the sap. She says, put this on your arm. Do you put the sap on your arm?
You don't have to if you don't want to. I didn't make this choice for me, so I have to. But you don't.
Will I be able to control this?
She says yes.
I take the sap and I put it on my arm.
If we can control it. Yeah. It's fine,
right.
Whatever.
All right.
Maybe the buzzers will like me more with the honey sap.
All right. So as you got the sap on your arm, when you offer her your arm, she says some words. She again invokes those 3 stags. She does the ritual again, but this time in the right order. And one by one, she takes your arm and just takes a single bite into it, just enough to sink the teeth in, and then she lets go. And then she does it to Elfin as well. Both of you have now been bitten, and you can feel yourself changing. You can feel it going into you. And she says, you too will need the adrenaline, the fear and the need. Come with us. And she turns completely into a werewolf. And she starts leading you to the north. You've been to Carcassonne. You know Carcassonne. You know exactly what's to the north. You're going to Carcass Pass. And as you think about it, you have become the monsters that saved Carcassonne on the night of first smoke. As you rush out, because you are able to control your transformation and become these werewolves, you gain their immunities. And as you go out there, you are fighting the undead again. But those Shamblers, the ones that you were afraid of before, they cannot hurt you. Every time they scratch at you, your body heals immediately and you can fend them off. The Screamers, they're dangerous, but you can keep them at bay. And with the assembled army of your werewolf team, all of you are able to successfully repel the undead and save Carcassonne. You are the monsters that we were dressing up as before. You are the heroes that had been forgotten. People were wrong. It wasn't the Forge Horde that had saved them before. It had been the werewolves that lived here in the Louvre Crag and had been since forgotten. But you go off and you were able to fight off the undead. The only thing that's really scary is now that you're fighting them for a longer time, you do fight some of those Screamers. And if you remember the last time that you fought them, when they die, they don't always take to it right away. And so we're gonna do a very brief combat to get you into this.
Okay.
So everybody can roll some quick initiative, because we are getting close to wrap up time, so I don't want to be like, and now a whole fight.
I could use my DM powers.
If you would like to, you can. I mean, I can't stop you anyway. Do you? Shall you DM power it?
I mean...
All right,
Yeah.
tell you what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a little bit of description so you know what the Screamers do, so that then you know you can decide how you want to respond to it with your DM powers to bring us home for the end of the day. So you go out there and you're fighting these Screamers, and every time you kill one, you notice that thing happening where they're screaming their head off, you kill them, and the body dies, but the voice carries on. And as you start tearing them down, one after another, you see them still floating and falling, until one of them, the scream just keeps going. It's unending. The scream seems detached from the rest of the body, and as you look, you see that it's like the throat, the esophagus, the mouth are just floating in an ethereal space. It's half translucent. It is ghostly, until you finally start fighting one, and when you tear it down, it screams so loud that it is able to rip the veil between your world and its, and it tears itself through, and you are faced with an unending wail. As it screams, everybody has to make a saving throw. It's a Constitution save.
Constitution save.
Do we get any bonuses for the
Lycanthropy does nothing for you.
Okay, I got a 13.
13.
I got a dirty
16.
All right, well, everybody makes it. So you don't find out what happens, but another lycanthrope that is with you does not. And they fall immediately to 0 hit points. It does not matter how many they had. This is a death call, and anyone within its range runs the risk of falling to 0 hit points immediately. And you see that this thing is floating above you. A couple more are torn down. And as you see, about 1 in 6 of them become this unending wail. And now you have a sky that's filled with these glowing green specters. And if you wanted to steal DM powers, this would be a perfect time to do it.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. Are you ready?
All right, let's go. All right, so as these shrieks decide to fill the air and I see my fallen lycanthropes, Leopard will center herself and channel that rage, that the barbarian rage that she has within, and then she's gonna let it loose slowly all over her body and let it transform herself into one of these Leonin barbarian, and then she's gonna let out her daunting roar that's going to silence all of the screamers in the area to protect her friends that are threatening Zara and Alphen, and then her newfound tribe of lycanthropes, and then she's going to just run out after him and just strike them down with a ferocity and just roar that deafens out all the screaming. And then as she tears through all these undead and these wailing screamers, she'll just kind of beat her chest and just like howl, but also meow at the moon if it's out right now. And then okay.
No, you're successful. This works because you're so loud. You're so loud that you deafen the people around you, and if you cannot hear the scream, you cannot die from it. You are safe from it. The deafened condition in this case is a godsend. And because you are so loud, so invigorated with this power that you are able to deafen the people around you and no one can hear. It's like a zone of silence except backwards. And so you are able to keep everyone from hearing it, and you know that you can continue to fight on. They do damage to you now because they're doing magical attacks and no longer doing non-magical, but because the only things you truly have to fear are these unending wails, and you are all armed with silver weapons. You are able to take them down, and you successfully repel this invasion. You stop it, you fight through the night, and the morning comes, and Carcassonne is safe because of you.
Yes!
We did it.
And all of you now have control over your were powers. You can choose, you are in total control when you transform. On the nights of the full moon, you still do transform, but you are cognizant and you do not have to, oh no. It's the full moon, well, in 147 years, it's the full moon again.
Kel.
Kel.
We need to talk to a lady, very nice lady.
Leader, the wolf lady.
What if there was a friend of ours? Can you teach us the ritual? Can we help our friend?
She says, of course, but first we must feast. And she like takes you into the city to be celebrated.
Fair enough.
And you realize, like she'll talk to you, and like as you spend time together, she'll explain like you are now part of our clan. You are members of the Louvre, and if you are going back to the future, then it is your responsibility, Marty, to carry on for us. Because if that is a world that no longer has the Louvre, then it needs it. And she will teach you the ritual. It'll take weeks to learn. But that's the beauty of time travel. It doesn't matter when you decide to put down that anchor. Millie will be able to come and get you. As long as you keep from putting it down prematurely, you have as much time as you'd like to enjoy Carcassonne, to explore around, and to learn the ways of these people. And to her, that's important. She wants to give you not just the abilities of her clan, but she wants to give you the culture too. And so she invites you to stay. How long would you like to stay here before you decide it's time to go back? Because that moment in time ahead of you is still 147 years away. You got time, right?
Yeah. I mean, I could stay here for a while. This is nice.
I at least want to stay a month and see the next full moon. At least a month.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to stay and just learn a little bit more about my new tribe, essentially.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They'll invite you to stay.
History.
They'll even invite some of you to stay if you want. If you don't want to go back to the future, you don't have to. But yeah. Otherwise,
but then
once you put down that anchor, Millie will come pick you up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's up to you. Do you want to return to the present tense river basin or stay in the past tense river basin?
Can we go check out that crazy old lady and see if she's crazy. Is she still? Is she there?
She
Is
does
she
not exist
here?
yet.
She doesn't exist yet. I
At
think.
least not up here. But yeah, you were successful. Just a quick show of hand. Who wants to head back at that month? After that month, or like 6 weeks. We'll give you 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, if I've learned everything I can about these people, I mean, I'm gonna record as much as I can.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can
scroll.
stay for a year if you want. You can stay. You can stay long enough to learn. But you've only got one anchor,
Right.
and so there's only one opportunity to leave.
Maybe we should stay a couple months, like 6 months.
Okay.
That sounds fair.
Okay.
Yeah, 6 months.
Yeah, you stay for 6
6
months.
months.
So that
You
we
get
can
to know
know.
them.
And
Mhm.
yeah,
Become part of the culture.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, you do, and they think you're great, and like you fit in with them well, and they get to know you, and they have many questions. And do you feel honor bound not to tell them the future, or are you just like, this is what fucking happens?
Do we break some kind of like space time, like
Yeah, right.
telling them the future, like
You don't know.
like
Does
this?
Kel start
You
to
will,
slowly
you will
disappear?
find out when you get onto the other end of the trip with Millie.
Oh, jeez, multiple timelines.
I think I would like tell them some things that I would think were inconsequential.
Okay.
So like,
Okay.
Yeah.
like I wouldn't tell them like everything, but I would tell them, like, oh yeah, the kids really like soup these days, kind of stuff.
Okay, all right. You're just like,
It's
oh
really
yeah,
cool.
good soup is like so popular. No one knows why, but
It's so
suddenly
popular.
everybody's like, good soup
Mhm.
everywhere.
Good soup.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. And then yeah, when you plant that anchor, Millie comes down. You go through the same experience as you fly up, and it's terrifying, and you fly down, and it's terrifying. But she brings you back down. And now that you have all been, you're inducted in the Louvre Crag. You know these rituals well, and you are able to now go perform them for Kel, and save him as well. And now it is your responsibility to bring him into the same brotherhood that you have become a part of yourself. And you save him. Success! You have done everything you need to do. You have repelled the undead. You have faced loss and triumphed, and you have found the werewolves and become them yourselves. You now are the werewolves of Carcassonne.
Yay!
All right.
Love
I
it.
think that we start like a school and we start like teaching the town its real history.
Right, the truth.
And like
Mhm.
like the true history of Carcassonne, and
Mhm.
whether people believe us or not, and we start teaching, like we become like these weirdly knowledgeable historians and like start
There's
our
a-
own school.
There's a weird divide that happens in the town where some of them insist on still calling it Columbus Day. I mean,
Oh my god.
oops, I'm sorry. But yeah, you can establish a presence again for the Louvre Crag, and are welcomed by your friend Constable Griffith, who looks out and is like, I see them coming. I don't understand why they're so hairy, but I'm okay with it because I myself am hairy in places I don't want to describe. But as I think about them, and at that point, someone runs up behind him and covers his mouth. And yeah, so you can have a place in the Louvre Crag. You've established yourselves. I will actually update the map on the World Anvil too, to give you a little place that you belong. Probably take me a couple days or a week, but I'll add a little spot for you. And yeah, success. That was the session. You've done it.
Yay!
Thank you all for playing.
Wow!
Cool.
Leia is now successfully
so
a Leonin
awesome.
Barbarian.
We're barbarian.
We're barbarian.
This army of were people.
Hell yeah! No one's gonna mess with us now.
Right.
No, you're
Oh,
immune.
God.
You're immune to a lot of kinds of damage. All right, cool. Yeah.
This is awesome. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. That was really
Thank you
a
for
really good
playing.
adventure.
Yeah. So I guess now we just stare at each other awkwardly. Do we know who we're rating yet, by chance?
Well, so real quick before we go to the
Oh.
rating thing,
Oh.
we're gonna go to the Patreon.
Oh,
Patreon.
Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. If you go over to Patreon, so we have our producers, I missed the person, Jason Imdowd, and our associate producers, Indies, Keith, Jesse Gillespie, Liam Huddlemeyer, and Mitchie909. If you can just support us for $1, but if you do $15, every 3 months we get a pin, right, Art? Eye in the Sky? Yep, just like that.
Yep.
And we have different characters coming out. I don't know which one is next, but there's Trunk, and there's Cucumber, and there's Brian. You get pins, and it's fun. And it's really awesome, and you get behind the scenes stuff, and you get your name on the thing after the shows, and it's awesome. And thank you guys so much for the support. We wouldn't be able to do
Just
this
like
without
Dick
you.
Sword.
Dick Sword.
And Dick Sword, Dick Sword, everybody. There we go.
Ooh,
We
all
are
right,
gonna
Cave
be
Maker.
doing
All right.
art.
Sweet.
Yeah, support them. Love them.
Go see some cave art.
See some cave art.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Thank you so much.
Alright.
Thank
Yeah,
you
thank
for
you
being
all
here.
for watching and
joining
joining us.